Good morning, and how are we all doing? So, it's Friday today, and it's not too bad at the moment. It's warm out there, but here it's quite cool, and there is a bit of a breeze blowing, and yeah, so hopefully. But anyway, right, let's say a few hellos. So, first of all, I'd like to say hello to George and Neil, who come in the shop, and more importantly, George's wife, Debbie. Hi Debbie, how's our dinosaur bird looking? Anyway, yeah, that's those two. Pete, who comes in the shop. Hello Pete, how you doing? Mark, big tall Mark, cameraman. I call him the cameraman, he's CCTV, I think he is. Mark, how you doing? Thanks for bringing that car in last weekend. That was really enjoyable looking around that. Who else is? Oh, there's loads of people that come. All the customers that come in the shop that know me, and the regulars more so that know me, a big hello, and you know, thanks for shopping at the shop, which is Model Works in New Haven. So here we go, it's just diddly dee. So we got these here, so they're in association with me. That's them there. Hopefully it's seeable, so you can see their email address and their phone number there. Yeah, there you go. So I work there every Saturday, and yeah, we all have a a good laugh. And I work with my Oppo, which is Justin. All right, mate. How are you keeping? Mind you, he's got a balcony. He's on the seafront, so I bet you anything, Justin, you're doing all right. Because the cool air must be blowing in off that front, and yeah, and being on a hill that he is, you know, that's another bonus. The only thing about living on hills, as I found out once, is if you live at the top, you might get struck by lightning. If you live at the bottom, you won't get struck by lightning, but you get drowned by everything that comes down the hill. Which is what happened to us. It got slightly flooded where I used to live once there, but yeah, no. So anyway, so right, this is not a review, but basically, I'd heard people talking about these airbrushes, and it was Jamie Haggis, not Haggis. What's his name? I think Haggis. This is what it right. Hey, is it Hago? Jamie Hago. He was the first one that I saw. I think as Nigel's Modelling Bench, I'm not sure whether he done one video on it, but they all did their little reviews and their little bits and bobs, and I thought to myself, I've heard of this airbrush name before, I wonder what they're like. Well, Amazon came up with a blinding deal, which was basically, you know, they have their Black Fridays and everything else. Well, they had what was it, Prime, so it's 3 days, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think it is, started on the 8th midnight, so it went 9, 10, 11. I think it ends tonight. But yeah, no. So we're opening the box. So basically, what it is this is another name I'm going to attempt to say. So I think it's Galeri, but there it is, right? And all of that is what you get in the box. You want to take a little look at that lot? So it's a 0.35mm and a 0.50mm. So you can you know, you've got some mediocre and some large scale modelling to do with them. So yeah, as on what it's like, I don't know, but just when you open the box up, and I'll do a proper look in the box for this, because obviously people like to have the full video and you're just staring at me and me choppers. But basically, that's what you get in there. It opens up like that. The other thing you do get is the different size rubber oleos and stuff to go in it, or what? Well, do you know what the hell are these things called? Washers, we call them, because I can't think of the proper name. They're not spacers or anything like that. They're just washers, but you get them. So what I do is I'll do a separate video on. I'll open that up probably and have a real good look at it. But for £49, I think it was, you couldn't go wrong. So that's the same price as my Iwata when I first ever bought my first Iwata, and this is Iwata number 2. And not only that, that came yesterday through the post. So it's a nice little bottle trap on the airbrush. So when you're spraying, it's from here up, it's neat air gun. So you can either put this at this end or you can shove it down the other end. But I prefer to put it there because once the air comes through the hose, it'll capture any droplets that are in the hose. Because believe it or not, rubber does sweat and it causes condensation. So yeah, you can end up with a bit of crap coming up your line. So I've had to get a couple of models gone for Revell. One of them was a helicopter, the other one was a little small jumbo jet model. I think it was the is that a 700 series? I think it was. Anyway, they've long gone now. I think the jumbo was I think it was a kit they didn't have. So they now have, and my God, it was small. It was tiny, about 5 inches long. I don't think it was 5 inches, but that's the smallest kit I made in a while. 1/700, and then. The other one I did was a helicopter, and I presume I can say this now, but it was the NH90. So it was the German Navy. I don't know whether, I think the Marineflieger was jets, but I don't know, it could be the same, but it's a German NH90. So in 72 scale. Old kit. But they put some nice markings in it now. So yeah, so you can go and see that. I think it's in the catalogue because I had the catalogue here yesterday. I don't know where it's gone now. I did have it here. Anyway, buy and a buy. So yeah, so that's that. What I am doing at the moment is this. So this is I don't know whether Tony, if you watch my videos. Good morning to you, sir, because yeah, I know he's going through it at the moment, but this is your Tornado, mate. So I've got the 3D printed nose. Now I didn't know this, but when you put the Revell nose on, there's a step down here underneath, so you get it all lined up on top, and there's quite a large step on the bottom. I don't know why, but the bottom seems to chamfer off. It should be flat and then give a slight curve into the nose, but instead, it started to come up well early. I don't know. Maybe that's because these things ain't in service anymore, so you can't exactly go down the road and bloody have a look at one. But either way, somebody done the nose cone. So not only was it the correct diameter all the way around, but when you look at the kit nose was another 2 mil longer, and it just looked really odd looking against this thing that's 3D printed, and obviously the guy's got it off a decent website. So yeah, so this is Tony's model. So I'm doing this, and it's yeah, we run up against a little bit of a problem, but it's not going to prove to be much of a problem because I work for Revell, so I've managed to get some spare parts for it. So Tony, it will be done, mark my words. But the one thing that was a real bummer, and I put a post up on Facebook, was this Phantom. So this is a Hasgauer kit Phantom. And it was all sealed in the bags. It was in a boxing, and the kit manufacturer doesn't make it anymore. I think Hasgauer does, but Revell don't. So there was no way I could get a nose. Someone spoke up and said, give me the dimensions and I'll make it a nose because I've got it on 3D print. Well, that chap, Tim Perry, Tim, can't thank you enough, mate. This is your nose, and what a nose. I mean, it fits like a dream all the way around. Nothing wrong with it. Absolutely spot on. You know, the best shape in the world. You know, got a great shape to it. And that's the other side as well. And then you got the top and the bottom. And there's a little gap there I've just seen, but do you know what? That'll get filled with a bit of filler. But I'm happy. Tim, you've done an absolute sterling job on that nose. That is really something else. And also, when he sent me this nose, and I've got another nose as well. I'm trying to look for the harness there. And I've got another nose, but it's not on the model, but it's for the GR4. So he gave me the two noses for the Phantom in case I broke one. So it's very kind of you, mate. That was an absolute gem. I've got this nose. I've also got some other bits coming for, because I've got two of these F3s. That's for Tony, and the other one's for me. And then I've also been tinkering around with me last GR4, so there's no instructions. So again, I looked on the Revel site, saw the instructions on there, so if I got stuck I could see where certain bits go. But this is the GR4. But the one thing again in this is the pods on the front, and that gun was missing from the kit. Again, all sealed, but nowhere to be seen. And I thought, you know what? And then all of a sudden, who was it? Nigel Ship out of the Tornado Sec. Nigel, bloody hell. Like an angel falling from the sky. I can help you with that. Bloody hell. So now I've got some bits coming from Nigel. I've bought a load of bits for him. And I owe him a cup of tea and what have you. But I'm sure I'll bump into him at some point at one of the shows. Yeah, so Nigel's, he just messaged me this morning saying all the bits are in the post here. So probably rock on Monday or Tuesday next week. I should be able to start finishing these tornadoes off. I wanted to get this one finished really before the end of next week, so that in the first week of the summer holidays, when the kids are off, I can get a chance to get out and get up, meet Tony, and hand him this and his Harrier, which is in a box out in the kitchen up on the top of the cupboard. And yeah, and he can have them, like, you know, and yeah, that'd be really good. So I've just, so this morning, because of the heat, you can't really do much in the heat. I mean, it's cool in here, but it's only cool because I've got that front door and the back door open, and I can see there is bright, and there's a bit of a breeze blowing through now. Not much of one. So all you can do is stick things together. So at the moment, I've got as far as sticking the two tanks to the pylons and that for the F3. What else am I doing? Oh yes, that's another thing. So I'm going to pick this up right now. So the other thing as well was I've done a Subaru. I got bloody bored and fed up. And I thought, right, I'll spray the Subaru shell. So I've sprayed it, but as much as it's Tamiya's Racing Blue, it does look a bit purple. And I'm thinking to myself, well, it's not the colour for the last one I did. I sprayed it up Mica Blue, and they always quote TS numbers. So the equivalent to a TS, whatever it is blah 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 blah. So I thought, right, okay, I'll just use Mica Blue, because it looked kind of the right blue. But the other three blues I had was Pearl Blue and Racing Blue. So I thought, well, you know, that's it. It's very shiny, but it's Racing Blue, and I didn't know whether to leave it like that or whether to go and see if I can source a Mica Blue from somewhere. And the only people I know that have got that are they're about 6 miles that way, over at Sutton and Home. Yeah, so that was that. It's kind of like put a bit of a grinding on that one. the A400M, she's hanging up there. I've taken her to the shop a couple of times because I've had work to do. I've had to get on with that because that thing does zap some time. You could do the smallest of things on it and it zaps time. I've actually got my Poseidon down. I need to remask the glass on it, and I literally need to respray the whole thing. It's had so much hanger rash that yeah, it's been marked, and then some guy turned around and said it's actually looking more filthy than the real thing. I thought, yeah, it doesn't look too clean, does it? So I've given it a quick wash with things. It hasn't brought it up much, but I thought, you know what, you're better off just maybe scrapping all the aerials off of it and redoing it and making a whole load of new aerials. So that was that. What else? I mean, I've got kits dotted around the desks as such, and yeah, but yeah, this is another thing. Now, I've spoken to my boss because I've never used these before until I bought a load, and I've still got a couple more that I'm waiting for. I don't know whether they'll be here today, but I have got an Amazon delivery here today that didn't make it yesterday. But these things, AK pens, paint pens, right? So they're not very dear to buy. They're about £3 to buy, I think, for the first lot. This one and two others. No, it wasn't. I'll tell you what it was. It was the metal ones that I bought. I bought all three metal ones. So I bought aluminium, dark aluminium, and gunmetal. And I think they were about £2.30 each from the show up in Ipswich. So that was those. These were a little bit more. These were nearly £4 each. That's because they're from down here, you know, the rich part of the world. So yeah, so I've got these, and I've got another two to come. I've got a yellow, and I can't think of the other colour. It's not a buff because that's a buff. Pardon me. A yellow and an ivory. That was it. But they are superb. So I'm just trying to look around here and see what the heck I've done with it. I've done loads of stuff with them, but so basically I've done the metalwork on the rudder, and I've done that there. The wing glove I've done with it. Upside down I've done the arrestor hook with it. This black inside here is done with the black paint pen, or the tyre black, because it's not jet black, but that stuff in there wasn't jet black anyway. It was kind of like a tyre black, a very dark tyre black, but not jet black. And I thought to myself, my God, the way it's gone on. And then I thought I'd give it a real test. So you can have a look at these. So let's sort that light out. So it's the Phantom. Just the end cones, nothing down the middle, just these end cones here. I mean, the light's a bit too bright now, let's just put it away. So there they are. So which one do you think I did with the colouring pen? Was it this one or was it this one? Because one's painted and one's a colouring pen. But which one is it? Oh, I can tell you right now which one it is. Well, which one do you think it is? You'll probably guess because I've given it away a bit. But I mean, look at it there. Yeah, that's a Mr. Hobby paint and the pen. And yeah, you think like with a pen you're going to get, you know, brush marks, blemishes, stuff like that. But no, you can go over it twice, and everything just disappears. It just goes into one. And it's actually quite good. The other thing is they do a lot of colours, but the good thing about buying singularly is if you got if wherever you go in the shop. By the way, I have told me my governor at Modelworks we should stock these because it's only a very small rack, and they're all single jobs. And all you just go and you just pick what colours you want and off you go. And that's it. And they are absolutely superb. And the other thing as well is if you get a splodge, all you've got to do is use a bit of Windoline on a cotton bud and they come straight off. So you don't even ruin your paintwork. Everybody knows about these monochrome pens. Speak for themselves, don't they? And then Mark at work was kind enough to give me a poker to try these out. And believe you me, these are expensive, but my God, they're good. So he gave me 2 different types of pen and 2 different colours. So this one's got a rattle in it, and that's the green, and and that's it. But this one, being the white, there's no rattle, but what you have to do, you have to take the end cap off, and then you have to pump it, and that puts the paint on the nib, and away you go. And they're poker pens, so they're pretty good as well. You can't fault them, but they are expensive. So if you want a kind of a not so expensive version, there's a kitten down here that is he one that's, I don't know what it is, he might be one that's going, but if not, look, I've only got 5. We've got 5 of them left. 3 of them sold, 2 unsold. Anyway, little kitty. You right, mate? Yeah. Go on and get down there, you know you want to. So yeah, what's that? Oh, I'll pick that up in a minute. Looks like a bit of kit. So it's so them pens, like I say, the poker pens, however you say it, they're the really expensive. But I have been on to my boss about stocking AK pens, AK real pens, and some AK stuff as well, because their washes are pretty good. They do a lot of pigments and washes. So it'll be, we do get quite a lot of people coming in saying, so have we got any pigments? Have we got any washes? And so far we've had to turn them all away. So we're losing money there. And that's what keeps you open, stuff like that. So, we really do need to have a rethink on what we're going to do and what we're going to stock again. I mean, it's all right having the models, but if you've got nothing to build them with or nothing to do a diorama with, then, you're a bit lost, aren't you? But, yeah. So like tweezers, I mean, these things, what are these, £2 at Boots or something like that? Sturdy tweezers, lasted me for years. Even down to the other sets that I had, that I've got, wherever they've gone. So like these things, you can buy these for next to nothing. You just get one like tool stockists, and traders, they sell them for a couple of bob each. Try and keep everything as cheap as possible. Yeah, you don't want to pay hundreds of pounds of stuff. And then these came in a set off of eBay, and I think they were £5 for the set of about 9 or 10 of them. So I mean, it's all stuff like that you sort of need to look into, as well as said different types of airbrush, different manufacturers. These things, it all helps. I mean, you can stock so much. I mean, you can't stock everything, but if you can stock the stuff that people are going to go, I want that, that'll do, it's going to go out the door and you can get more in. Then you can maybe, buy a bit more. But, so Modelworks in New Haven, they're online. Look them up. I showed you the card, didn't I? It's up here behind me somewhere. There you go. Oh, I'm going to give a shout out to Arnie. Hello, mate. He was on Instagram the other day and I was chatting to him. So, cheers, buddy. I've got one on me. I think there's one on me, if not. I've still got some there. So God, I collect so much stuff. Modelworks, there we go, right? So there it is, phone number, email address, website. the email address ain't on there, but the phone number's on there and the website's on there. I'm there every Saturday. I won't be there this Saturday. I'm going to somewhere called Goodwood, which is cars, racing cars or something like that anyway, with me neighbour. Very kindly invited me along. Should be enjoyable, as long as it's not too hot and I'm not sitting there suffering. So yeah, but yeah, that's about it really. So, you know, that's a shout as to what I've been doing. I've also got a lot more models here because I went down to my lock-up and pulled a load out. A lot of them have gone in the loft, so just to let you know that there's an AWACS sitting right behind here with no engines, no radome, and then there's a VC10 in 72 scale, which is the Mac kit that I think Nigel threw it in the bin. Phil Flory just, I don't know what he did, he cocked it right up. It didn't look very good. And I've not known anybody else to build one other than me. And that's up there. And I had a set of plans that, you know, I got from my granddad's tool bag when he used to work, and he was an airframe engineer on Vickers VC10s over at Weybridge in Brooklands. And yeah, there wasn't really much wrong with it. It did need a slight reshaping on the nose around the cockpit area at the front. Barring that, the engines were a bit bloody sus. So I can't remember the name of the bloke, but there is a guy that does 172 3D printed engines for that, and they are absolutely bloody superb. As a matter of fact, I did think I did a review on them on my channel somewhere, and he done the landing gear, because I've got the landing gear, the wheel set and the engine set for that VC10, because every bit I've just mentioned on that VC10 was crap. So yeah, the only other thing was BIC markings is what I was going to do it. Although, well, I did look to do it in RAF markings, but I haven't got the pods for the wings. I haven't got that special APU at the back, and I haven't got the refueling boom at the front. But not that they're a problem. You can, well, refueling boom I can definitely get round. The APU at the back, maybe. The fueling pods, no, I wouldn't know what to do with it. But anyway, the thing was, it was being built in tribute to my granddad, because he used to do work on one of his last ones was a British BOAC, not British Airways, because it turned into British Airways, but no, it was a BOAC bird, and that's what I'm doing that one. It has got paint on it, but it's not. It's just a rough go at it, but all the same. Yeah, so there's that. The Poseidon was another new one. So I've got a Super Hornet there, Super Hornet up here, which I had to, the one up there, I had to, so this had some, I don't know why, some weird colour on here, and I had to redo it. So basically, it was repainted, all of that was repainted, that whole one side there, so it matched up to the other side. And then I think I had a big patch here somewhere. Yeah, it was basically, so my daughter knocked off the desk and the whole nose split round here somewhere, literally come right open. I think it was down there, and so again had to patch it up. As you can see, I run the light over it. Not done a bad job, have I? So yeah, and then like I say, these tail planes, I think they took a bit of a Bertie as well, but yeah, other than that, it's the Meng 48 scale Super Hornet. Right, I'm going to disappear now, because if I don't, I'm going to get nothing done, and I need to do another video on the look into using that gallery airbrush, which would be very interesting, I must admit, because I've not had one before. And my first view of one was when, like I say, Jamie Hago, when he did one, when he bought one, and he used it, and he was actually pleasantly surprised that it was actually a really good airbrush. So I guess we'll wait and see. Anyway, thank you very much for liking and subscribing. I look forward to seeing the ones I see down the shop. If any of you subscribers ever pay a visit to England, or if you're all in England, you're ever down the south, Newhaven, Brighton, and you fancy a trip across, well, you got the address because it was on the card. And yeah, come and see us. I'm there on a Saturday, every Saturday. And it'd be nice to see you and shake a few hands. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to say ta-da. Love to you all, and behave yourselves, and mind it again, this bloody hot weather, because it's not good. It's not good. And yeah, you know, just drink plenty of water. See you in the next one.